Literally no one asked for this video, so I'm providing another modular Glock comparison just to show you what things can do. So we have here a Gen 5 Glock 23, 40 caliber, Glock 19X, never fired, Glock 45, 9mm, MOS, but so was the Glock 23, and then a Gen 3 Glock 23, 40 caliber. What I want to show you today is I've already done a video where we put this slide on the 45 and it worked. I wanted to get a little more in depth and show you some of the things that were different. Like I say, it did work. Did not do an exhaustive test by any means. I think I shot 10 rounds. That's hardly even a drop in the bucket of what should be done to prove a weapon system. One of the things I was also going to show you is the Glock 19X slide is essentially the same piece of steel as the Glock 45 slide. Obviously, you have your front cocking serrations, color difference. They come with a different set of sights. The 19X is not available currently in an MOS from the factory for just regular civilian sales. I've put an extended slide stop, so don't look into that. But other than that, they're the same. And I'm going to show you on the bottom how that is. Now, I do know that there are some spring cup differences, but other than that, I think I've touched on pretty much everything. So when we look at the Glock 19X, try not to knock my stuff over, beside the Glock 45, which, there we go, you can see it is a 1-to-1 ratio. Everything looks the same. So, can we put the 45 slide onto the 19X frame? Yes, we can. Does it work? Yes, it does. Does it reset? Yes, it does. So we are good there. Will the 19X slide go on the Glock 45 frame? I believe it will. Just gotta get everything lined up. And here it is. Does appear to function, resets. Everything seems to work just fine. Now we'll look at the frames for just a moment, and you'll see again, it is almost exactly the same. If not, it is exactly the same. The differences, if any, are so minor, it really doesn't matter. Now, when we look at the bottom, however, you can see there's a marked difference between the Gen 4 bottom and the Gen 5 bottom. One's got a mag well, one's got a small mag well, I guess. One's got a flared mag well. Now this comes right out. It could even be put into this one, so don't get hung up on the lanyard loop there. From what I can tell, everything from here up is the same. Any differences are very minor. Function-wise, they are the same. Then I wanted to show you a couple of the differences. You may recall we put this Gen 5 Glock 23 slide on this Gen 5 Glock 45 9mm frame, and it worked. What I wanted to show you, this is the Gen 5 40 caliber frame on my left and the 9mm frame on your right. You can see, other than the ejector, it is pretty much exactly the same. Now the ejector on every 9mm, I've got a SV series Gen 2 Glock 19, has the same bent extractor, or ejector, excuse me, ejector there, whereas the 40s are always straight. Did not seem to matter when we shot it, but it was a difference. And just because I know somebody's going to ask, can you put a Gen 5 Glock 40 slide on a 19X frame and will it function? Well, it looks nice. Does appear. We'll reset to function. If there's any other questions anybody has or any videos you'd like me to make with the limited stuff I have on hand, I'd be happy to do that. One thing else I'd like to show you real quick. Your Gen 3 Glock 40 versus your Gen 5. And as you can see, most things are still very similar. Couple differences. Here and here. The one that really makes the difference is if you look how much narrower this piece is versus the one on the Gen 5. The other thing that's a difference as far as assembly goes is if you look at the back, this doesn't have a square cutout, so it runs into parts. Something else I'll show you just because we're here. Put the slides together and you can see the width difference. 0.08 inches doesn't sound like a lot, but it does turn out to have some functional difference. I'm going to show you putting this is a Gen 3 frame, Gen 5 40 caliber fatter slide. You'll get to about here, and that's all you'll do. And the reason for that is because this channel right here will not let the recoil spring assembly in. You can see how much too big it is. Conversely, here's the Gen 5 40 caliber frame, and you can see that's where the recoil spring assembly goes. Just a little differences. I no longer have a Gen 4 Glock 23, so I can't compare that. I'd like to get one in here. My understanding and belief based on just looking at the parts here is that we could have some more modularity between them by changing out the rear base plate or rear slide plate to this side. That would let it go over, because what your problem is, keep them Gen 5 on the left, Gen 3 on the right. When you look at the back, you can see the difference. This one's got this square, this one doesn't. Furthermore, you've got this, see if I can get, there you can see, sticks up right here. The Gen 3 didn't have that. So as long as you get around that, then you just have to get around this recoil spring assembly channel. And then in the front, you have different sizes. You can see where this has more meat and this is more cut out. So it's not gonna be a perfect lineup. This is all just for fun stuff, not something I suggest you do for carry duty, anything like that. Just informational because I thought it was neat and I played with Legos too much as a kid.